Hello.
Fancy.
Fancy new setup. Hi, I'm Alice. Hi. Oh.
I
Oh my
love the
God,
letter
D&D.
Q.
Wait.
Hi. What? Everybody doesn't love the letter Q? Oh, right. Anyway, hello and welcome to another episode of Awooters Does D&D. With me, your DM, Alice Wiven.
Yay!
Yay.
I'm no longer dying.
Yay.
Yay!
I make an attempt every once in a while. At least once a year, I make an attempt to survive. Just once.
Just the wow.
just the one time.
Wow.
So, welcome everybody. It's been a second. See, I forgot how to do the opening already. Oh my god, 1 week off and I'm brain turned off. Anyway, welcome to Awooters Does D&D. I'm Atlas Riven. We'll do a quick introduction of everybody around the table. We'll start with Buns Fluffbutt, also known as Miss Viv.
Hi, hello, me?
Uh,
Anyways,
we have
hi everybody. I'm
yes.
I'm Misfit playing Buns Fluff Butt Herringon Wizard.
She's a wizard, Ari. I'm sorry.
She is a hairy wizard, yes.
I am a hairy wizard. This is true.
We also have Mace or Yagoki Wolf.
Greetings,
Susan.
friend. Just a barbarian robot with a tail.
As you do. We have Suo or M Redfeather. Yes. Okay.
Wow.
We have Vlidinsky or Best Mod NA Emos Husky.
Hello, I am Flitinsky. I am a paladin and I love praising the sun.
Praise the sun.
Very, very good.
Praise it.
And we also have Hamhawk, also known as Little Foxy.
Hey, how's it going?
Hamhawk, I think, is still getting his character art, right?
Yep, still waiting on that commission.
Gotcha. And then so previously on Awooters Does D&D, we so I believe what had happened last time was let's see, you came back from getting the Book of Denier. Upon passing it to Denier himself, he got all of his memories back. You got some of your questions answered, and maybe even possibly had some new questions come up. He gave you some information about a tower that he needs to get back to, which would give him a bit more of the knowledge or power that he had before having lost all of his knowledge. And then that conversation was interrupted by two seemingly random cultists who seem to be going around looking to I don't know, anti-missionary people. So instead of converting them to religion, they're trying to be like, but what if killed gods? So so the group quickly dispatched of said cultists. Unfortunately, after they seem to have blown up the local tavern / inn.
But then Mace crushed their skulls.
Mace did in fact crush their skulls. We got some information about the type of potion that they used in order to do that. And I believe we left off with everybody just checking in on the people outside of the inn, and I believe that Buns and Suo had just caught a glimpse of some people, some cloaked figures that seemed oddly similar to them.
Right, because one of them was wearing the same cloak that Buns had purchased. Yeah.
Nope.
No, so they were on the other side of the wreckage, that is the tavern, and they were cloaked figures. So you didn't really get a good look at like what's under the cloak, or you're not close enough to. Yes.
Did one of them have ears sticking out of a robe?
Yes. They are still over there. They are turning currently to walk behind the tavern.
Buns is right there with Suo. You saw that, right? Right? You saw those? Was that us? So what's
Okay.
happening?
So you're booking it over there. The rest of the group is now witnessing them. M is muted on stream. Here, I can double check real quick.
Thank you, Russell. Hey, hey, Core.
Yeah, no, he's right though. You were muted.
Nice.
Go into settings in OBS and make sure that it's the default is using the right thing. Make sure it's not muted in the audio bar thingy. I don't know what it's called anymore.
Is it my
Audio mixer.
mustache? Is it too powerful?
We're professionals, everybody.
I'm sorry, chat. My mustache is too powerful and it's breaking everything.
It's all Atlas's fault.
Now would be a great time to remind everybody in chat. Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us for another riveting episode of Awooters Tech Help. We need the help.
We do.
We're currently hiring for somebody to tech help. The pay is nothing because we don't make anything right now.
Yeah.
That is
Wow.
how is
Okay.
that? What? How does that even work? Thank you for bonking the ankles. Because so clearly the microphone works because we can hear you.
Right.
And you're changing it, hitting apply. Okay.
You didn't accidentally turn push to talk on, right? It would be settings, audio, and then there should be something called like it should just be enable push to talk. It should be in OBS.
Oh, and that little crash earlier confirms the VODs are now being saved.
Oh, well, good. I
That's
still
good.
would. I'd love to know why it didn't save any of the other ones, but like rude. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Check your audio mixer stuff? Question mark?
Quick. Somebody vamp. How about them weather?
You know, it's been really windy here, and I'm hoping that I don't lose power again or have a power flicker.
That's that would be a bad time.
Yeah.
That would be a bad time. We had a reasonably nice day today.
A little
That's
warm, but
nice.
otherwise nice.
I mean, compared to how warm it has been, not terrible.
Yeah, but we were hoping for weather more like yesterday. Yesterday was real nice.
Yeah, we were gonna have a bonfire before D&D tonight, but then like it got like upper 80s. Like it went from like mid 70s and then it shot all the way up to like upper 80s. Cause like normally it's like, oh, slow climb, that's fine. It was the fact that it went from like 75 and then within an hour it was like 75 to like 80 something.
Or just make a hammer out of cookies.
We love a hammer cookie. Foxy can't say anything about being warm. True. His natural habitat is like 90 degrees.
We literally established earlier that both me and Squiz will just occasionally go outside and stare at the sun for a little bit to absorb its warmth.
Very much lizard people. You gotta give them their like heated rock, you know?
Got it.
Yeah. Is it really an episode of Awooters does something if we're not broken?
Is it really a stream of any of us with something not broken?
So true. This feels like Whittle Guy Wednesday.
Whittle guys? You want
Just
whittle
a little
guys?
guy.
Here's a little guy. Oh god, it's never mind.
That
Didn't quite work out the way I intended it to.
Oh God, what am I missing? I went to get some water.
I switched to widow guy and it was just the top of my widow guy's head.
Oh.
Is that? Oh, there it is. Found one. Okay.
Oh, is it working?
I found something.
Yep. Okay, cool. Your voice is now on stream. All right.
Yay.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, same thing.
All right. Cool. So anyway, thank you guys so much for enjoying that intermission. I hope everybody got snacks.
So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and book it towards these figures on the other side of this venue that look so similar to myself and Buns.
Okay.
Buns is right there. Did you see them? Did they look like us? Was it me? Was it
No,
you?
it wasn't just you.
As you round the corner, where you saw them kind of like walking, you see, so you very clearly they were walking away.
Mhm.
As you like round the corner, you can see that now they're even further away, and they're like, you can see the back of two cloaks walking down an alleyway.
I'm gonna keep going.
Would that mean they're crossing back towards us?
No, so they're going further away.
Okay.
They're opposite side of the tavern, and from your perspective, they have now gone behind the tavern. So Suo and Buns have now gone out of sight behind the tavern. Suo and Buns, you are running down, and you make it to this alleyway. And as you turn the corner to look down this alleyway, it is a dead end, and there's nothing there, but there is like a letter sitting atop of a box.
I go get the letter. And like
Okay.
Okay, I frantically but neatly open it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So when you pick up the letter and you go to open it, there's a wax seal on the letter.
Mhm.
The wax seal is it's a tree, but all the leaves have fallen off the tree and are kind of surrounded around the base. As you pop open this wax seal,
I'm gonna crouch down.
Okay.
Okay.
So that way
Otherwise,
Buns can
Buns
like
would
right.
oh,
So that
otherwise,
way-
Buns would just like climb up you
that works
and sit
too.
on your shoulder.
That also
Okay.
works too. This would probably be the first time that Buns has touched Suho, and Suho is like not at all registering. Suo's just like, yes, this is normal. This makes sense.
So as you pop that letter open, there's a little breeze that comes along with it, like a little gust, and it smells, Buns, it smells very familiar to you. It smells very much like the like a fey forest.
Is it like
Just go.
What, Suo?
would a normal person find this as like a nice balmy breeze? Or are we talking about a crisp autumn breeze?
It's almost as if like a chill fall breeze.
Crisp autumn breeze, got it. Which
Yeah,
means
very
that means Suo fully shivers. Because that's just like winter's death just hit her.
yeah. Okay. So
Oh,
open
Having
the
noticed it's been a little bit since Mace saw Buns go out of sight, he will proceed to follow, wondering where the hell she went.
And they're tucked into it. They're in an alleyway.
Mace.
Huddled over
As
each other.
you Mace, as you start to make your way towards the tavern, to like follow the direction that they went, you hear a whistle, like a weird high-pitched whistle coming from the opposite direction off to the side, down another alleyway.
Do I get a sense of specifically where it came from?
Yes, it's almost as if whoever whistled specifically at you.
I turned to look towards the sound source.
As you turn to look, you see another alleyway, off this, but like probably if they went north, yours is more like to the east or however you want to do that, but that kind of directional, right? And as you turn to see where the whistling is coming from, you see give me go ahead and give me a perception. Ooh, very good perception. Mace, with a 22 in perception, you see very clearly a very similar looking tail slide down the alleyway.
Okay. Is Ham or Vladinsky still in eyeshot?
They should still be within earshot, yes.
I've probably been assisting with cleanup of the tavern, for lack of a better task at the moment.
Then I will shout to Lidinsky, "Hey, girls went this way. I will be back."
All right, I
Okay.
will stay watch on things to see if anything suspicious happens.
Okay.
And I will
while
follow the tail.
So while you do that, ladies, you open the letter, and as you open this letter, you felt that gust, and then inside, written in a code, but weirdly a code that you can understand. You start to read this letter, and it says, it goes, to save the king is to save us both, but you must decide if we're both worth saving.
Not cryptic at all.
No, pretty straightforward.
Buns just kind of looks at Suo. Like, Em, I think you're muted.
I'm not. I'm just not talking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, your mouth is just flickering?
Yeah.
Oh, that's because I'm typing.
Oh, okay.
I think we're both furiously taking
Business
notes at this
typing.
point.
And then we cut back to Mace. Mace, you're approaching this alleyway, and as you approach this alleyway, there is a figure of the same size as you, huddled at the back of this alley, with the same tail you have.
I pull the handle of my mace forward, so it's like just sitting on my shoulder. Proceed to walk forward. Who are you?
As you say, "Who are you?" the figure turns to you, and enough light hits their face that you are standing face to face with yourself.
I ask again. Who are you?
The person who looks just like you looks directly at you, and all you hear in response, in the same tone and same voice, the exact, almost as if you are looking in a mirror and your mirror is talking back at you, it responds, "Time is running out. When I die, you die." And as the last word exits the other Mace's lips, you see as his body starts to rust and wither, and then he turns to dust before you.
That liar.
Mace bends down, putting the mace back in its holster on his back. And kind of scoops some of the remains up, letting it flow through his hand.
You can, so as the remaining like rust of this person that was in front of you flows through your finger, it doesn't hit the ground before it just fades away.
His immediate thought is he has questions for D again. And then he bolts back out to the street towards the girls.
Okay. So, back over to the girls. You've just read this letter.
This is very cryptic.
My
Here.
first thought is going to be looking to see if it's actually addressed to anyone. Or, like, does it have my name versus Bun's names, both of our names?
It is addressed to no one, but
So
you
there-
get the feeling that it was meant for you both.
Which we're both worth saving, right?
So Sue's gonna look at the letter, and then she's gonna turn and look at Buns on her shoulder, and be like, "What did the king do? Or what did we do? Did we do something? Why would any of us not be worth saving?" And so she's like gonna have like basically a mini existential crisis.
Why wouldn't we be worth saving? I mean, I saved Maze, and he was just, a pile of scrap. And now he's my bestest friend in the whole wide world.
As you two are having this conversation, Mace, you round the corner and you just kind of hear a little bit of this conversation before they are aware of your presence.
As I round the corner, I come screeching to a halt. Where are they?
I'm gonna turn around.
Buns is just kind of with nothing else to grab onto, hanging onto one of
The
Suo's horns. Just so she doesn't fall off.
Right?
Hoping she's not hurting her new friend.
They're gone. They were gone before we got here. They left a letter. I don't... You saw them too.
I saw me.
You saw
They
you.
were us.
And just seeing a similar situation of a dead end, he's going to go to that wall, and is there like the same pile of ash on the ground, or is it already blown away?
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there at all.
Was there any ash
He-
when we got to the alley?
Nope.
Okay.
He faded
Buns?
before mine eye.
What do you mean faded?
Mace locks eyes with Buns. Rust. Instant.
Buns starts holding her hands out to Mace. Just holds her hands out.
Harder because I was like, cool, I'll just upload every episode straight from the VOD to YouTube, and now
We're
it's
back.
like, what if we made it three different VODs? you have to piece them all together.
And now we gotta kind of go back to recap what may have been missed.
I
wasn't
believe
long.
it. So I was about to say, because when I looked over, it was still live. It didn't actually go
Okay.
offline until
Yeah.
until a little bit after. So
Buns just says, that's why I keep so clean, so you don't rust.
It
I won't
was
let you rust.
a moment in front of me from full operation to rust falling between my fingers. and gone. Something about time being short and my death being tied to his.
We need to go talk to D.
My thoughts precisely. And he just cocks his head a bit to look at her on her shoulder.
She is full wrapped around his head. Like
Oh.
hugging Mace's head like it's a teddy bear.
Like, well, he still turns to try and look at you, even though you're moving with his head.
Yup. Buns just looks over at Suo. We should go talk to D.
Agreed.
Can I see the letter?
Yes, here.
She takes the letter and copies down the words into her spellbook and draws the seal.
Oh. She's
In
gonna
it.
see Buns doing the drawing. She goes, "Oh no, here, let me see," and then takes the seal and like puts it under the page and does the like pencil over top of textured surface thing.
Ah. Oh, that's a good idea. All I have is my quill. Okay, that way we have it. It's in my book. And she draws it anyways right next to it using, the rubbing as reference better.
Right.
Anything that I write with my quill in it will stay, even if I have to make a new one for whatever reason.
Fascinating.
And she gives the letter back to Suo. I don't want to lose Mace.
You shall not. Not anytime soon. Walks out of the alley.
Okay. So you guys are exiting the alley. I assume Hamhawk and Vlad are well, Hamhawk was helping with the tavern stuff and then Vlad was keeping watch, right?
Yeah, I'm like having Nugget work to like move debris. I'm checking for weak points, making sure that the fire is fully out, not going to spread to nearby buildings, so on and so forth. But I've also been... It likely didn't survive, because quite frankly, very killer way to do things. But I'd be grabbing their particular drink glasses and setting them aside.
Mm-hmm.
For the 3 that were a part of the blaze, basically, at the epicenter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I set that decanter aside, and otherwise, I'm helping with debris, making sure post-fire care is being had, because only you can prevent city fires.
Vlad, you're keeping watch. Could you give me a perception, please? Okay.
Praise the sun.
Doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, sorry,
Praise the
I was
sun.
I was too busy staring at the sun again. It caught my eye.
No,
It's
know,
not a.
no-
It's not an out of character dexterity check. So
That's true. He's not doing a like backhand spring over an entire building. So so yeah, everything looks pretty normal, Vlad. It's a pretty nice sun you're looking at. And then the people from the alley are doing what?
Walking back, I would assume.
As we're walking back, Mace's head is on a swivel. There's been 3 sightings of lookalikes already. Who's to say there aren't any more? So he's on the lookout for anything that might be.
Gotcha. Perception.
dum, dum, dum.
Okay. With a 16, you're not seeing any more cloaked figures. Everything seems pretty normal. You know, you're looking around the crowd for anything. You don't see a weird ham hock or ham hock's pet or Vladinsky. You don't see D, no more Suo.
As he walks back up to Zlatinsky, he pats him on the shoulder. Thanks for keeping watch. We have some more questions for our friend.
Well, what kind of question, friend? What happened in alley?
Ali's.
Oh, or in alleys. Sorry.
No, he's
Oh,
correcting him and filling him in on what happened. And
Buns is oddly quiet, and her ears are kind of droopy.
And Mace explains what happened to him in the one alley, and then running back over, he gestures to Suo.
Is that a gesture for me to start talking?
Yes.
Oh. So yes, Suo explains that, like, she'll, I guess she'll just be like, well, we saw figures that looked like ourselves, Buns and I, and so we just started chasing them down. And when we finally caught up, they were gone. But there was this letter in their place. And it mentions saving the king saves both of us, but only if we're worth saving? I don't understand. It's very confusing. Where's D? I need more information.
Give perception.
Yeah, Buns is going to start looking around for D too.
As soon as I open up my character sheet. Well, Buns definitely sees what's going on. Thank God.
She's got that extra height from being on Mace's shoulder.
What was that perception, Em? It didn't add it. So
I
it was
saw 11
5,
rolls.
So 16.
Yeah.
16. Oh, okay. Cool. So we'll start with you, and we'll, you see the same thing that Mace saw, which is, you look around, you don't see any cloaked figures, you don't see a ham hock, you don't see D, you don't see a Suo with a cape on or like a Buns or anything. Buns with a 23, you also don't see any of that. But more importantly, you realize that you don't see D.
Where's D? I don't see D. Where's D?
Is he not in the
He's not here.
inn? Or the
He-
Not
tavern?
here.
Tavern that got
Well-
burned down.
So the last time you
I thought
saw
you were
D,
in the
you
tavern. I'm confused. Okay, continue.
so Hamhawk is in the tavern.
Okay.
Hamhawk is in the tavern collecting things out of the rubble,
Right,
like
right,
the
right.
char and stuff. The last time you saw D, you said that you needed to talk to him, but he said that he was going to go assist a group of people, and they were on the other side of the group, the crowd that you guys were all staring at. But looking in that direction of the crowd, you don't see him.
I would go back towards his shop. Did anyone else get booted out of Foundry?
Everyone
Yeah,
did.
Restarting it.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I was like,
Yeah. ...
question mark.
The alley. The street leading up to the where D's shop is. It's I mean, you don't see anybody walking down it. But if you'd like, you can continue that direction.
I mean, I don't see why not. Depending on the actual distance between the two places, it's not unreasonable in the time since I last saw him that he would already be back inside his shop.
Yeah. So as you kind of make your way that way, when you get to his shop, you can see through the window that it is
Fucking
torn
empty.
apart. It's torn apart.
Torn apart. Torn apart how? Torn apart as in like we're having fucking Howl's Moving Castle and it's no longer paired to the building. Torn apart?
Torn apart as in ransacked.
Okay.
So-
Like freshly ransacked though.
Yeah, because when they did not ransack it while you were in it, and you when you were in it, you went directly from inside to outside when you heard the commotion. So within the time frame of that commotion and now, the shop had been ransacked.
Look, I was just making sure there wasn't some magical shit going on right now.
Fair.
Given
It's like
everything
a-
else in this campaign so far, yeah, fair.
Because, like, 10,000%, I was expecting you to, like I said, do, like, fucking Howl's Moving Castle. We're gonna go over here and open the door to an empty shell of a building where, like, it wasn't actually there in the first place. We were just, like, tethered there because of magic. And now that he's got the book that he needs, he's gonna go off doing his thing. Anyway, I'm gonna go
Well-
into the building, very perceptive, like, and, one, see if he's in there.
Casual DM reminder, because it was like 2 or 3 sessions ago when you returned the book. He did mention that returning the book did not return his power; it just returned his memory.
Right. And we're supposed to go find somebody named Claire. We
Yes.
weren't told where she is.
And I guess she's got access to his tower.
Mhm. That she should be able to find the tower because she is one of the keepers of the tower.
Mace is going to look to Buns. Which way was he?
Huh?
Which
Oh.
way was D?
Which way... Before we got sidetracked following ourselves, what way had D wandered off?
D was in the other group of people. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'll answer your questions, but first I'm gonna go assist these people." So he was kind of opposite the people you guys were originally standing next to. So just the other side of the crowd.
Okay.
Uh,
Maybe we
You
should
can-
go ask somebody if they saw D.
Em, if you would like, you can give an investigation check to investigate the ransacked shop.
Perfect.
And then Mace is just gonna follow Buns' finger as to where she last saw him and which group of people.
Got it. So... okay. So you move towards that group. They're all still there. There's just no D there. What are you going? What would you like to do
Excuse
upon
me.
getting over there?
Excuse me.
A nice woman turns and looks at you and gives you a, oh, hi. Oh, you're the two from the bar earlier. Hi. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah. Where's D?
Oh, D? Well, he had some guy came over and asked him a couple questions, and then they kind of just he said he had some business to take care of, and they walked off.
Which direction?
I'm not quite sure. They kind of got lost in the crowd a little bit. That was a while ago, though. I not quite sure where he'd be right now. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he went back to his shop, or I'm not sure. It was a very quick interaction between the two of them before they went off. Em, did you give a?
No, I'm
Are
reloading.
you waiting for the? Okay, got it.
It booted me, and I thought it was just gonna automatically like put me back in.
Nope.
Nope. And I'm getting not BTT.
Oh no.
Okay.
Why am I having so many problems today?
This is what happens when we take. This is the punishment for taking 1 week off. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We get 2 weeks worth of problems.
Yeah.
Any way I could take a look, try and find his D's footprints, try and trace them, see where he may have went.
It'd be really hard to trace footprints because this is like the middle of the town, so it is kept pretty clean. Also, there's just a large group of people, so the footprints would have already been like stomped over by a bunch of people just because everybody's kind of huddled together in a little group over here.
You said
That's fair.
investigation, right?
Yes, an investigation for the shop.
Well, I rolled it in D&D Beyond because that's what's working right now, and it was a 15.
With everything added?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything all together.
As you look around the shop, you notice that whoever did this was looking for something very particular. They kind of really they really tore the shop apart. It's hard to tell if they found what they were looking for just because of the state of the shop. But it's hard to tell. Whoever did this very quickly, and was clearly very frustrated. May says it's time to hydrate.
I'm sorry.
But they did it in a very rushed way, and it seems that you can kind of deduce from a 15 and the state of the shop that they probably didn't find what they were looking for just because of how frustrated the entire thing, the entire act looks, as if they were getting very more frustrated the more they tore books off the shelves and things.
Mm-hmm. And there's nobody else in the building or anything?
No.
Okay.
But there's a note taped to the end of one of the bookshelves.
Does it have a name on it?
No, it's just a
Cool.
plain.
Then I'm gonna open it.
All right.
Can't get mad at me
opening
if
the-
it's not addressed to the person it's supposed to go to.
Opening the note, you check on the inside, and it simply states, we have who you're looking for. Bring us the information that we need, and we might return him to you. And then at the bottom, it just simply says a name you recognize, which is Demore, being the kind of center hub of this this entire area, like the entire continent you're on, closest to the largest lake in the on this continent.
The look on like Suo's expression when she reads this can only be described as sassy but baffled.
That is an interesting combo.
Like, very much so, who the fuck has the audacity? Like, of like, might? Excuse me? No. That's not how this is gonna work. Like, that is like the emotion that is currently expressed on her face.
Not that anyone can see it at the moment.
Right. Nobody else can. She's literally standing in a fucked up room by herself with a letter, looking at it like, who the fuck has the nerve to like she's gonna full take this letter and go back out and find the closest one of y'all and be like, these motherfuckers over here thought, but they're gonna learn.
I think the irony
probably Valinsky.
I was about to say, I think the irony is that Vladinsky is the only one that kind of hasn't moved around much, meaning that Vladinsky would be the closest one.
Yeah.
You're about to walk up to a man that just spent some time staring directly into the sun and be like, who the fuck?
I think these motherfuckers fucking kidnapped D, and then they said might return them. Like, when she says might, it is a full body movement.
Does Buns hear this?
I don't know. So you guys are on the opposite side in a full crowd of people, but I would imagine with how upset Suo is, you can't make out what Suo is like hushed yelling about. But you can make out that Suo is not happy.
Because I'm
Would it
assuming,
not?
based off of this letter, that this seems to be addressed yet again to me, with no addressee on it, but yet somehow it is my letter.
Or at least us.
I am sick.
At the very least, us, yeah.
Motherfucking tired of these goddamn letters just appearing in front of me. Like,
In this motherfucking town.
Welcome to Awooters Does D&D. Letters.
letters in a town.
Letters in a town.
Like, these motherfuckers. I am. No. Nope.
Buns tries. Let's go see what's got Suo so upset.
Ham
And I
Hock,
feel like
you will
Vladinsky,
also-
whole time, blank face.
That's what you can tell. He's got a helmet on.
Ham Hock, you will also have noticed this situation. It's not very. Suo's not making a grand attempt at hiding her
Pacing back and forth in front of Vladinsky, papers in her hand, gesturing wildly. Vladinsky just as confused as everybody else.
While all of this has been going on, And we've got a lot of people, and I've got I've got Nugget working on some manual labor. I want to have been working on some food for everybody.
Okay.
For like the people from the tavern, and I'm gonna try to do the same recipe as what was given to me for the soup earlier, and I'm gonna make some for Suho and Buns, who seem particularly downtrodden, and bring them a bowl.
Okay. Give me a what's a cooking check with advantage because of your like book and stuff. What would be a that'd be like a
Medicine.
Survival?
Survival's a good one.
yeah, okay. So we'll do survival with advantage because of if you're using your book.
Yeah, because I would have already recorded the recipe that was provided into the book.
Okay. So
And
yeah.
if it has any recommendations, as it oft does, I will try to take those into account.
So what you're saying is you open your book, yeah?
Yes. I'm like,
Okay.
and I'm making food.
So
I'm making waffles.
The first time you open your book, you get a really weird smell. Like you get the smell of the recipe you found, but also there's like a faint smell coming from further back in your book.
Once I've had the chance to like write down some ingredients and hand it to some locals so that I can procure the ingredients for a pretty large batch of soup, I will investigate further into my book, following my nose.
In the very back of your book,
I'm still waiting for Foundry, by the way, which is why I haven't rolled. It's just staring at me.
You're good. You're good. If you want to, I can also. If it's not loaded before we finish this, I can give you the modifier for it, and then you can roll it.
It's pulling up now.
Okay. So you flip to the very last page of the book, and at the top, it just says, in very faint, faded letters, chef's choice. And the smell keeps... You've never experienced this with the book thus far, but the smell keeps switching from something like deliciously sweet to unsavory and sour. But there's no ingredients or information. It's just a page that says chef's choice and the odor that keeps flipping back and forth.
I'm going to write down the alternating odor as a note underneath the chef's choice menu item, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So that I remember to come back to it. Right.
So as you're writing down that like description of a sweet smell and then the description of the sour unsavory smell, the words fade out and then fade back in, and it just says, the page now just says chef's choice, and where you had written the description, it says life or death.
How is it written? Is it like how our hit points are, where it's like life/death, or is it in list form?
No, so it's written in like as if it was a sentence, like right under where the description of normal, like most of your recipes would have a description. Like it would be title, description of the meal, and then it gets into like how to make it, the ingredients
and then
the
process.
So the description of this would just be life or death.
Interesting. All right, and what are we rolling? Survival?
Yeah, with advantage because you're using the book. That's a nat 20. That is a delicious meal. That is the most delicious meal. That is some of your finest work, sir.
I actually took a recommendation from the book, and I will hand it back to the tavern keep, writing down the recommendation,
Mm-hmm.
and being like, just added a little touch. You should notice the difference. And I hand him the soup and the updated recipe before I bring the soup to the rest of my party.
As you're walking away, he actually takes a sip of the soup, being like, "How much better could it be?" You hear a subtle sob as it's the most delicious soup he's ever had.
I'm just imagining like the critics' flashbacks in Ratatouille. Just picturing his childhood. Scrapes his knee on the sidewalk and his mother makes him some ratatouille.
This man is having the worst day of his life. Like, his bar exploded with people in it, and like people died here, and like his daughter was in the building, and like the soup has changed his entire day.
And I bring some of
anybody
that same soup to the rest of the party, that it might soothe their spirits and calm their frazzled minds.
Anyone who has any of this soup, it is the most delicious soup you have ever consumed.
Word.
Actually, it's so delicious. It's so good that you all get one inspiration.
Oh.
Hey.
Yet heckin' inspired.
Yay!
I'm sure there's a way to track that somewhere on this thing.
Depends on
Yeah, there's
which
a
one you're
marker. There's a marker for it.
So anyway, this soup was so good that you now all have one inspiration.
Depending on which character sheet you have, there's a place to click to
Okay,
toggle
I found
it.
the checkbox.
Yeah.
You found it?
Yep. And once I've given soup to the party, I start handing out soup to those helping restore or at least safify the tavern. Contributing in my own small way.
Yeah, they kind of take over for you. You know, that idea of you cooked the meal, they'll distribute it for you. You've done your work. Like, you deserve to like take a second. Like, you've very clearly been like cleaning the tavern and setting things up, and now you've cooked a meal. They're kind of like, this is their way of giving you a break for all of your hard work. So they're kind of like spreading. They're like handing the soup out and stuff.
Cool. A chef's job is never done.
And so you all are now grouped back together.
Correct. As Mason Buns walks back into the group, gets handed 2 bowls of soup, and sees a very flustered duo. Where did we couldn't find him? He walked off with a seemingly innocuous person.
Innocuous my
Did you find him?
innocuous my ass. These stupid. She's just gonna like pinch the bridge of her nose and just stop for a second and just like and take a deep breath and just I've gotten another letter and I'm tired of them. Anyway, I believe he's been kidnapped. And they want information or something, and they might give him back. They might. Ha 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 ha.
No, they will. I'll make sure. They have to.
She
How
like
quaint.
after her like hysteric giggle, she like sucks her teeth a little bit, like running her tongue along her teeth, like mm-hmm.
You need to cuddle the buns.
I don't like bullies. I don't. Not right now. But I'll
You
think
should hold
about
the
it.
buns. You should hold the buns. I'm soft. I'm furry. I'm soothing.
Yeah, she'll
eat your
pass
soap.
the letter. To who? She'll like just hold the letter out like, who the fuck wants this? I don't want this anymore.
Buns
Take
will
this away from me.
take it.
Mace will
Like-
grab it, handing it to Buns.
Again, it goes into the spell book.
Everything goes in the spell
Love
book.
it.
Yes.
We love a notebook. We love it.
Handy dandy notebook.
Yes.
I like that. I've just discovered that the theme currently for this campaign is "We just got a letter."
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
Death.
Oh God. Ah!
I'm sure he can cook a meal to die for.
Ah, jeez. Well, you did have cake or death at the back of your book.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of
Porque
here.
no los dos?
What? Is that not
Gotta go
accurate?
more?
No, it is accurate. I'm just mad that's how accurate it was.
Sorry, it's the mustache. It gives me too much power. You know.
So, I don't know about anybody else, but I could use a nap. And then maybe we should go to Demore. And then we find whoever took D. And we make them regret their decision.
And as she says, as the last syllable of decision leaves Buns' mouth, Mace just like punches his own open hand.
Do the anime.
The-
punch is what we call it.
The anime, yeah,
Believe it. I mean,
wrong anime.
No, they do it in that one. It's just how anime that punch is.
Oh man, I hope that you guys find Sasuke on the way to.
God.
Haha, I knew you'd flash, bitch. No, don't let her get me.
You guys can take lodge at the now empty bookstore.
Yeah. We should go to the bookstore. And sleep there tonight. And then set out in the morning.
We may be able to piece things back together. Maybe find some things that'll help us for the road.
Maybe.
Can I get anyone, just anyone who might just be like maybe keeping like a little bit of an eye out to give a perception check for me?
Yeah, Mace's head's been on its swivel the whole time.
Same
I
as
was gonna
Volensky.
say, Suo is probably
Not that good of a swivel, though.
No, she got me.
I would be watching, maybe not
Raise-
for the any bad actors, but just in general, keeping an eye out
Yeah. So
for like the
general-
well-being of people. So
Yeah, general perception would be good.
Dragon just easy.
Give us a roll, Ham.
Your gods.
Okay. So you're all like a little scatterbrained, a little out of it, just from like the entirety of whatever is going on. Ham, as you're looking around and you're kind of like observing, you see everybody enjoying your soup, and you hear the sound of like something dripping on the ground, and you're just like, oh, it would be a travesty if somebody was spilling your soup. And so you start looking around, and you're kind of like you're kind of looking it out, and then you suddenly like look at the ground, and there's like a little red, like a very small red puddle on the ground, and you just like follow the drips of like blood from the puddle up, and you see that like coming from one side of Ladinsky's armor is like he's dripping blood.
like from just the side of his armor.
Yeah.
Are we
like,
talking
almost
like
as-
every action movie, when the main character gets shot, they always get shot off center,
it's
but
a
just
very
high enough above their hip?
No, it's like a very small amount, and it just looks like it's dripping out of the fingertip of his glove.
I didn't know that you bled, Tin Man.
To be honest, I could.
Honestly, me either. What's this?
Yeah, yes, dude, this is actually me. I've never seen my own blood before.
Okay, roll a con.
Can I take off the glove portion of his armor? Or maybe help him do so?
Well, first we're gonna have Vlad do a con save to see, as somebody who's never seen his own blood before, if he gets a little woozy.
That's fair. Oh,
Oh dear.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're trying your best to hold it together, but you definitely are feeling a little dizzy at the sight of your own blood, considering you've also never seen it before.
Nope.
Whoa. Don't
I
feel
don't bleed
so...
celestial light.
Thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice.
And Hamhawk is offering to help you remove your glove.
I will accept the assistance. I don't think I'll be able to glove by myself.
I kind of noticing the exchange. I kind of offer to swing underneath his opposite arm and guide him down to the ground to like a seated position.
As you're guided down into the seated position in Hamhawk, you're it's a
You would have to for me to be able to reach his glove. I'm just saying, I'm 2 feet
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah,
it's also a very heavy glove. Like it's a very it's the fact that he carries around such a heavy suit of armor is insane.
We found our
Lidinsky-
Rock Lee guys.
Lidinsky, as he removes the glove and you look down yep, there's your human hand, and there's just a little bit of blood like trickling down one of your just like trickles down a little bit from your hand.
Does it source from the hand or fingers?
It sources from above the wrist, but it's a very slow drip.
Maybe we should go. Maybe we should go to the bookshop, and then we can take care of Lidinsky there. Buns will hop down so that Mace can help Lidinsky.
So, to speed along as we're going to do that, most armor has like a cloth inlay, and then of course everything else is kind of put attached to it. Can I trail up the arm and just look for where this source of blood might be, just bleeding through
The inlay.
like that cloth interior or leather inlay?
Yeah, from the gambeson.
So if you follow up, there's a little bit of some armor covering up, but it's really weird because you follow the hand up, and you get to like where the wrist should be, and then you get a little bit further up, and it's weird because like his arm looks as though it starts to thin out.
Okay, as we get him
Yeah, let's get
into
him
the
back to the
bookstore, I too am not used to fluids seeping forth. Let's check the other hand.
Buns will start
Vlidinsky,
cleaning
I
up
did send you a
books.
DM.
Buns is just putting away books.
Sewer
And
would
then-
probably help.
And then, as we get in, kind of situate him seated in front of the counter. Mace goes to take off his other glove. If Vodinsky doesn't,
If he's consenting.
yes.
Yes, as we get to the shop there, I take a seat so that I don't feel as woozy. As Mace starts to take off my glove, Mace starts to notice that there's no flesh on my left hand. It all seems to just be straight bone.
One of flesh, one of bone. Is all Mace can fathom saying at the moment.
Buns hears this and turns around. Wait, what?
So that hand is bone?
Yes, it would like a regular if it was just no flesh, just bone.
Just a skeletal hand?
Yeah.
I like poke it with my claw, and I'm like,
Hey,
can you feel it?
Doing poking. Yes, of course I can.
Poke, 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 poke.
Shut up.
Hamhock casually just poking continuously over and over again.
And then Peanut, get fucked.
Yes,
Yep.
totally.
But no blood trailing or anything like that.
Not on
It
that
seems
side.
to be sourcing from the other side. When was the last time you took your armor off?
Mace will just put the other glove, the bone hand glove, back on, and latch it in place.
I'm leaving.
Thank you.
Hi, Peanut. Also, if you said when the last time you took your armor off, I don't think it came through.
Oh, I don't remember last time I took armor off. It's been very, very long time.
I see. Well, you should probably keep it on. May or may not be what's holding you together. Not the weirdest thing we've seen today, let's be honest. Put the glove
Fair.
back on.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I'm gonna-
Casual Tuesday at Rock.
I'm gonna like... I'm gonna use my sniffer. And I'm gonna like start sniffing up his arm to see if I can source the blood by smell through the armor.
Okay. Go ahead and make a. I'm gonna say that's gonna be. I'll say survival.
Drip!
Oh
Actually,
no!
Can I use my inspiration?
Yeah, it's your inspiration. You can use it.
I'm gonna use it right there. Another normal roll. 15. Plus 4.
Okay, so using your sniffer to sniff the area, you kind of recognize that the scent of blood stops very abruptly, right below where his elbow would be.
Okay. And I want to feel the cloth portion of armor starting like halfway up the bicep and then going down to the forearm. And see if I notice a difference in give, if you will.
So, So feeling Vladimski's arm, if you started up by like the elbow area, it's very thin. The closer you are to that elbow, it feels like bone. The further down you go, the more dense it starts to feel, almost as if it's like it's gains more muscle the closer you get to his hand.
He's turning into a real boy.
And it's his left hand or his right hand?
Left.
Left.
Because
Can-
everything you own in the box is left.
All right, can any of you guys help me out here? Did any of the godly lore stories you guys have heard mention somebody who was proficient with their left hand? Like that was particularly important to them?
You want history checks from a lot of us?
Yeah, if you want to attempt to know, you can do history or religion.
Both are +1, so
15, 20. Right, or is that also +1? Oh, we got a 16, a 25, and a 10.
Okay. So, all together, especially with Buns, especially having the most knowledge on like history and stuff. I mean, there's some historical figures that were left-handed, but there were none that were prominently like their story and stuff had to do with being left-handed. So it would be hard to judge based on whether or not it was just a matter of being left-handed. There are no significant like historical figures where their left hand was significant in a way like that.
Well, you're probably decaying. We'll make sure your passing is worthwhile.
Or the opposite.
Well, we could sleep on it and then check it again in the morning.
Most of his body, from what we can tell, and Mace kind of follows Hammock's example and feels up the other arm.
The opposite arm?
Yes.
That
Poor
is
Fludinski's
all...
over here getting felt up.
I know. I'm getting so much attention.
Hey, he's got the bone.
He does have
damn
the
it.
bone. Specifically, Mace, that entire side is all bone.
Feeling up on Vladimski's bone.
He's got
His entire makeup seems to be. I mean, correct me if wrong, but all skeleton.
I'm thinking back. Did he consume the soup?
Yes.
Yes, I did consume soup.
Did it stain the inside? Did it go into a meat sack, or did it hit the armor sack?
I'm sorry.
Can skeleton eat soup?
Okay, I can drink food normally like any other human could. It disappears into a void essentially, as if it was going into my stomach.
But you get full.
Yes.
So what you're saying is Vladinsky doesn't poop.
Not entirely. Now that I think about it.
I mean, he hasn't taken his armor off in forever.
And he
So-
doesn't have an odor other than a little faint bit of blood.
So to answer the age-old question of you pooping?
Vadinsky is never.
This is not where I thought this was gonna go, but all right.
All right. Well, I do think that our best course of action is just going to be to wait till morning.
All right.
If you die, we'll bury you. If you don't die, then maybe you're getting better.
What a doctor, sir. It's very much like American health insurance at its finest, people.
You're talking to a chef that would cook people if given the opportunity.
No, I'm just saying this is very. I feel very accurate. If nobody else has anything else they'd like to do, you are more than welcome to get the benefit of a long rest.
Yeah. Until it's
Mace
bedtime, Buns is just gonna, be cleaning up the shop for D.
Oh, also,
And
Buns,
then-
you will be noticeably upset because you will have realized that in the ruckus of all of this, while you're putting books away, they definitely have like torn through, but like physically torn some books apart.
Offensive.
You've
And
got
then-
mending, right?
Yes.
You can try to piece together those pages. It's
Buns will
Oiling
literally
kind of
set them
work,
all
but-
set them all aside in like piles so
Mhm.
that she can try to mend them on her watch.
So I'll say you can mend probably half of them. Some of them, the pages are just you couldn't.
You're not trying to put together a jigsaw puzzle and then mend each portion of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we'll
Could
say
mending turn a
half.
picture, make a picture of a puzzle?
mhm.
Probably.
So anyway, you all benefit from.
How do you do a long rest in this?
There should be.
Oh, I see it. It's under hit dice.
Yeah.
You having taken your long rest. Say it. There you go. You wake up to a pretty a cloudy day, but not a rainy day. There's light coming in through the shop window, but it's not very bright. It's definitely a little gloom today.
First thing in the morning I would do is check my recipe book, thumb through all the pages, see if it has anything cool for me, or any new recommendations on previous recipes, that kind of stuff.
Stu will make
All
sure
the
to
same.
hit the long rest.
Say it again.
Make sure to hit long rest.
I thought I did.
It didn't come up in chat, is all.
Okay, so I click on that. I click the long rest button. Is a new day. Rest.
There we go.
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go. The book seems relatively the same.
Including that last recipe.
Yep, that last recipe has not changed.
Does it smell any different?
It's still, every time you open to that page, it still wafts between the sweet smell and the unsavory sour.
Cool. Put my book away. And we're gonna go see to our friend Vlad.
Yes. In the immortal words of somebody who once said, "It's a new day, isn't it?"
Yeah, sure. Someone.
It's a new day.
Yeah,
So you go
Vlad
check.
will be standing disappointedly by the window, looking outside, seeing it's a dreary day and there's no sun outside to breeze.
There's no sun outside to burn his metaphorical retinas.
Yeah.
Ah. All right, come on over here. Let's see if you're getting better or worse. Is there still blood dripping down, like fresh blood from his hand, or has that stopped?
It is not dripping anymore. Is the glove still off?
Okay, Garen.
No, we would have left that one on.
Garen's ult is down.
Yeah, we never did actually say whether we put the other one back on.
Yeah, I put it back on when you put on the bone glove.
He
Okay.
absolutely
Oh,
shoved
glove.
his sword straight up my ass.
So the glove is still on. There's no blood seeping through.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we just go up the forearm and see if he is gaining or losing body mass.
There is no muscle or anything anymore. It has returned to bone.
Even that hand.
Yep.
What?
Was it a really nice looking hand? Just the hand of a workman? Chuck
It was
Norris?
a very smooth, very fresh hand.
If I said firmly grasp it, would I expect a firm grasp?
Yeah, it's a nice hand. It's a hand befitting somebody this size.
Okay. So it wasn't like half decayed, restoring itself kind of a thing?
No.
Okay.
Maybe we just need to take off all the armor.
Maybe not right now, but at some point, maybe.
I mean,
That's
fair.
silly.
That's right. We have the,
Oh my god.
got the bookman. We should probably go and save him, I guess, because he's got the answers.
He does indeed.
All right, what about the rest of you guys?
Okay, that went off the wrong direction.
I'm ready.
Without nothing but more questions.
Yeah.
Yes, our quest for answers has birthed more questions
I
than we
get
have
the feeling
gotten.
this is a constant thing with D.
You might be right.
That tracks. Don't die.
Somewhere off in the distance, far, far away, you all get the slight feeling of D being very upset that you think that he is just trouble all the time.
All right, did the note say where we were supposed to, like, collect him or something?
It just said the more.
Oh, yeah. It's like the main city
Yeah.
in the center there. I'd probably know how long it would take to travel from point A to point B, right?
If you go straight from Rock to Demore, it's roughly 3.5 days.
What if we make a stop by Solho first?
You mean Suo, because that's just Suo sitting in a town. That town, you don't really know the name of that town.
Deep.
It's just a small town, kind of similar size to Rock. If you went from Rock to that town, it would probably be about, I'd say about a day and a half if you made good time.
Get knocked up. I don't have any mana. I don't have any mana.
Well, I just figured that's better than getting supplies for all of that time. We can make a pit stop there first and then head north. We don't have to carry as much on us.
Makes sense to me.
So, give me that quick for you.
Yeah. Need shred.
That town is really have a way to mark it. I do. Wow, that's a really big text
Go ahead.
box.
Go ahead with your self.
That's
Get fucked.
That's a check. That's because the font size is 48.
Should be 42, like all font sizes.
This is Tre. Is the name of it. Tre.
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 I'm just waiting for the text
Tra.
box to update on our end.
Yup.
Tre. Did it update?
Nope.
I
It
mean, it
says
changed.
New text.
And there's a
Did it?
tiny
I-
white
that's-
box.
And there's a
clicked off
tiny
it.
white box.
I just clicked off of it, didn't I? How about now?
Mm-mm.
I'm about to kill some. I mean, what? Who, me? I would.
How's it
There
spelled?
it is.
I'm coming in.
You see
hot.
that?
Oh, is it spelled?
Get
Is it?
fucked.
TRE
now?
apostrophe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's. I just moved it for some reason. Updated it, but okay.
Yep.
Yes. TR.
Okay. Well, we can make a stop by Tre, and then head to Demore from there.
Upon hearing the name, I need my good druid friend over here. I need you to make a I need you to make a con saving throw, please.
Oh, what?
You gotta check yourself.
A Constitution saving throw at the mention of the town Tre.
I don't want to go to Tre.
Something about that name and hearing it and thinking of that place, which you are very certain you've never been there before, you start to feel very like there's something wrong there.
So,
Some's
like,
not-
this is like
some's
we're getting
not
ready,
okay.
we're discussing what we're going to be doing, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like, Suo's, like, just idly doing packing up her pack, you know, rolling up her bedroll kind of thing, like, that kind of stuff, right? And so she's, like, up around, moving around, and she hears Ham mention Tre, and she just absolutely freezes and just kind of, like, does the, like,
Nah, fam.
you know how, like, when you get a shiver down your neck and you're, like, your head, like, twitches to the side and you roll your shoulders and you're just, like... She kind of gets one of those. And just, like...
With a 6, even I would even say that that name for some reason sparks this feeling of just it's almost this feeling of if the world could if the land itself could make you feel depressed.
It
You
does.
get
all
you get
the
the
time, though.
sense you get the sense that whatever is in that direction nature wise is it hurts to feel just like whatever is happening to nature in that direction.
What's up with you? Owe some people money in Tre.
You got me.
No. Something's wrong from there.
Something in particular you been? Can't say I've actually been through that area. They're not known for their
No. I
culinary
haven't.
aptitudes.
She's, like, kind of looking off to the side, like... You can't tell if she's trying to think of something or if she's trying to hear a sound, but she's just, like, perplexed. It's... And she just kind of, like, rubs her arms like,
More
something's not right.
more reason to go,
Well,
or
I don't
reason
think we should be
to
walking
stay
into
away.
If there's problems there, and we're already on a time travel to get to the moor, we can skip it over. Just means that we need to pack for more days of travel.
Suo, as you're kind of like looking around, as you turn more and your gaze meets the window of the shop, it's not just an overcast day for you. There's something falling from the sky outside.
She's gonna kind of cock her head towards the window and start walking towards it to see if get a better look.
Buns, is anybody else proficient with nature?
No.
Let me double check.
Proficient with nature? I don't believe.
Yeah, you got like proficient.
Yeah,
To be fair, I
am.
actually do
but I have
not
a plus
have
one.
proficiency for nature. I have proficiency
You're
for
getting-
survival.
You're getting this more because of your druidic connection
Okay.
to nature, and not
I
so
have-
much that you're proficient.
Okay.
Proficiency in perception, but no, not nature.
And you said Hamhawk has proficiency in.
Yeah, it
Okay.
counteracts the fact that it's intelligence based.
Because, So anyway, Suo, you sorry, I just needed to double check that. What are you doing?
I'm going to the window to see if I can see what's falling down. And if I can't get a clear view from the window, I'll probably go out, open the door.
So you all watch as Suo gets up and kind of saunters over, and she's squinting at the window. But to you all, it looks like a normal overcast day. So you're not quite sure what she's looking for. And as you open the door and you walk outside, you are hit with this like weird gust, and on this gust comes this smell of like burning. And the thing falling
kind
from
of
the
burning?
sky,
Like wood
a
burning,
forest fire.
sulfur burning.
a forest fire.
Okay.
And the things falling from the skies are charred and like half burnt brown and fall colored leaves. And
Isn't it spring?
yeah, it is.
But we don't see that. To us, it's just overcast.
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Uh-huh.
Would you say, because like my initial reaction to that is that she would start tearing up.
Yeah, and that is a very real reaction that you would have to such a sensation.
She would basically like just like a sense of like devastation. She would start tearing up and just like, and do I get the sense that this is coming from Trey?
Yes.
Okay. She's gonna turn and look at everybody, and she's gonna have like tears in her eyes. And she's gonna be like, "We have to go to Trey."
Buns will hop over. What's wrong, Sewell?
Buns,
That
are you
answers my
exiting?
question.
Are you exiting the building?
If Suo's outside, yes.
I would probably be just outside the threshold.
So, Buns, as you get over there and you kind of like reach out to like, see what's wrong with Suo, as your ears exit the building, you can't see anything, you don't smell anything, but you hear a small little faint whisper of a feminine voice, and all it whispers to you is, "Help me."
Who are you? Where are you?
No response.
Did you hear that?
No.
I heard somebody say, "Help me." Buns just kind of reaches up her hand to Suo's.
All
she's
I can think
spooked.
of all I can think of right now is the crest from the letter that we got that had the tree with the leaves on the ground.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking of too.
And she's just like, I have to go to Trey. Like,
Following Buns' motions, Mace will walk out. Did you hear something?
Buns just nods. Slowly.
What's Hamhawk doing, by the way?
Keeping an eye on everyone that seems to be in various states of distress or insane. Can't confirm. And
Valid.
and putting all of our stuff together. Organizing, seeing if I can find a spare key to the shop, maybe. But I'm prepping to leave, regardless of our destination, and just sort of keeping an eye on everybody.
Gotcha. And Vlad, what are you?
I would still kind of peering out the window, wondering what's going on with that door while keeping an eye on what's up.
Vlad, can you give me a perception as you're looking out the window?
is it to see if you can see the sun?
Do 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 do.
No,
No,
there's no sun.
Got it. Okay.
No sun, they
It's,
can't see anything.
It's a little too overcast. It's a little too overcast for you to kind of get any idea of what's going on.
So after a moment, Suo goes from like being solemn and like, you know, looking like she just watched her dog get run over, to frantically putting her shit together so she can get out of here.
So we're heading over there then.
It would seem so.
Regardless of what
important,
anyone
we
else
need
does,
to.
I have to go to Trey. I have to find out what's going on.
That's
Something
fair,
is
and quite
wrong.
frankly, we're dealing with the kind of people that would turn a person into a living bomb. We'll need to be on our A game, and that means we can't have you distracted. So this will get you not distracted. We'll head over to Trey.
Need to go too. I think. And
It'll
Buns.
take a little less than 2 days travel if we leave early today. We should get there about halfway through tomorrow.
Buns looks up at Suo. I think we have to stay together.
Somehow, that doesn't surprise me.
I'm gonna go and get us some supplies for... Alright, yeah, 6 of us. Alright. Vlad, can you come and help me out? I've not had to carry 6 people's worth of rations for a bit. You guys finish cleaning up here. We'll leave out from here shortly.
Mace, I'll get our packs together. You go with Hemhawk and help him.
He looks at Buns, does a double check of the state of her ears.
They're a little droopy.
We'll get there. And
Alright.
he pets the top of her head.
So, for sake of brevity, we'll say that you guys can easily get prepped. We'll say that the journey can go ahead and start. You will have to make camp, obviously, because it's about a 1.5 day trek.
Yeah, but we can stop closer to that waterway, that little lake. because it's basically halfway between the two. Shouldn't add too much to our travel.
No,
It is a source of fresh water.
it's a pretty good, yeah.
That's the lake we landed in.
It is.
That is, in fact, the lake you landed in.
So we know exactly how to get there.
So, you guys kind of make that journey. It's pretty uneventful. Let me double check how uneventful it is.
And it would be how much for the, what is that? 12 rations?
Yeah.
I'm asking.
I said yeah.
How
he
much?
gave you an answer.
Oh, I don't know. What are you? You're asking how many rations it would take?
How much would it cost to get 12 rations?
Oh, gosh, I don't even remember the rough estimate of ration.
Do 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 do.
So a day's worth of ration is 5 silver piece
For one day.
for one day. So however you would like to math out. Keeping in mind that you shouldn't have, if you had rations when you got here, you really shouldn't have been using them because, like, you had eaten and stuff.
Yeah, I've got 10 days worth of rations on my person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
really
You should-
5 silver? That's expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
I thought it was
so
more
I
like a
double-checked.
few copper. Shoot.
But we still have our starting rations, so we should be fine.
Yeah.
So it's uneventful from rock to the lake here. How are you guys doing rest?
What do you mean?
There's
Like,
more than enough of us.
Yeah,
Technically,
whoever wants to take first, and then I'll take the rest.
you don't even sleep, so technically you could take the entire rest.
Yeah.
Technically, unless someone wants to.
But of our 8-hour resting period, only 6 of that has to be spent sleeping per person. So
Yeah.
if there are 4 of us that each take a 2-hour watch, then technically all 4 of us, other than you, could take 2 hours, and you're just the ever-present one throughout that time. So essentially, we have 2 people on rests for the entire rest period. So that if
Right.
something happens, there's 2 of us to keep an eye on things.
So who's taking first?
I'd probably take the first one, stay up a little later.
Okay. Give me a perception.
Both of us?
Whoever's taking that first watch. Okay. And then Hamhock, give me a nature.
7.
Okay. Yeah, everything seems calm.
Okay. 2 hours down.
How are you? Who is taking the next?
I'll
Or
take
is
the
Mace
second.
finishing it off? Okay. So anybody who's doing the second watch, perception. Alrighty. Okay. Second watch is goes good. Is at this point you're about halfway through the night. So you've done 2 hours, 2 hours. Suo.
Hmm.
You are sleeping and you are resting, and all of a sudden you begin to dream. And in this dream, you are in the middle of a town surrounded by a forest. All of the buildings around you are on fire. And you can tell that the forest right outside the town is also engulfed in flame. In front of you is a large tree, this beautiful large tree, and you feel the urge to reach out and feel the energy from this tree.
Vibe check.
You don't need to vibe check.
Just feels like a vibe check.
Would you like to reach out and touch the tree?
Yes, absolutely.
Suo, as your hand
I'll be right back.
reaches the trunk of this tree, I'm gonna say that you don't even get to make a save for this. Your knees buckle and you fall to your knees in front of this tree as your skin makes contact with the bark, and you suddenly feel all of this tree's pain and suffering and the torture that it's been going through for what feels like forever.
When this happens and she drops to her knees, she is going to give visceral yell and immediately just start sobbing.
You feel memories of what it used to be. A tree so beautiful that it spread its branches so far and wide that it nourished almost the entire half of this continent with just its life-giving force. And then you get this drastic change from where it was to where it is now, and you feel it inside you that this tree is dying.
So this is in the center of the town?
Yes.
And this is like freakishly huge tree.
Yes.
Like the trunk is like the size of a house.
Yeah, it is the largest. It's the largest thing in this town, and it towers over the town itself. You also roll for me a perception. Unfortunately, it will have to be a perception with disadvantage because of how just traumatic this situation is.
I was expecting that. Perception, disadvantage. Oh wow!
Damn.
Not bad.
Very nice.
Very nice, even with disadvantage.
Through your tears and pain, you see one branch. You see you see a root that is above ground, and you feel as like your connection to this tree, as the life force from this tree flows back through this branch towards a building off into the town. And you can feel that this life force goes towards this, and it begs for something in return, but it doesn't receive whatever it's begging for in return.
So I'm getting the sense that whatever is in this building is sucking the life from this tree.
Either that or the tree is trying to get something. It's trying to send something to somebody. And the person that is supposed to receive it is supposed to give something back to the tree. And they're either not receiving it or they're purposely not giving back.
Okay. Do the buildings look unique? Like if I saw these, I'm sure if I saw this town again, I would recognize it instantly.
Yeah, it's similar to Rock, but like only inside.
Okay.
The layout is different.
Can I follow the route to wherever it's leading to?
You
Or
can
try to.
So you can try. How are you following the route?
If it's exposed, depending on how upset I am right now, I will probably crawl. But if I can pull myself up, then I will stand up and follow it that way.
I will say that you can make an investigation with disadvantage. And because of how important this is,
Nope.
I was gonna let you know that you just needed a 10.
Damn.
You
It's
could have
hard to
canceled
follow.
out the disadvantage with the inspiration, but it's also hard to check because you have the disadvantage before you could roll.
If you would like to spend your inspiration, I will allow you to re-roll.
Again at disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's still not great. Because I only have a +1 to investigation.
So I'll say with an 8, because it is better. I'll say with an 8, you get the direction that the route is going, and you can attempt to follow it. But you will have to make your way through a patch of the town that is on fire.
Does Suo cry out in her sleep? I'm assuming this is happening during the watch that I'm sitting with Mace.
If you want to make a con saving throw to see if you cry out in your sleep, I will say that you can make a constitution saving throw to see if you can hold yourself together from crying out in your sleep. And that you can make with a regular check. I'll say with an 11, you hold yourself reasonably. You might have a slight whimper, but you're not crying out in your sleep.
Buns noticed that Suo was upset in her sleep.
With a 17, you can catch that Suo is having some whimpers in her sleep. She's not so much like she's not seeming like she's in an intense amount of distress in her sleep. But because I said that you can follow that branch, I will say that you can make a dex check to see if you can get through the fire to get to the other side to maybe see what the the route is leading to.
Flat dex?
Yep. Or dex acrobatics, I'll say.
It's the same thing.
Oh
my god!
And only nat 20 on dexterity. Got it.
Yeah, that's apparently the theme here. You make it through this fire unscathed. And on the other side, you have a clear vision of this route going towards a very secluded building. It's dark inside, and the only thing that lights this building is the glow of the energy from the tree going inside and a flame flickering in a window with the silhouette of a person sobbing on the inside.
Can I get closer and see who they are?
You can attempt to get closer and try and roll a perception check to see if you can get an idea of who's inside that building. Okay, with a 16. So with a 16, you get close enough and you can make out that whoever is in this building is frail and weak, and they're not doing very well. And as you take one step closer, and you're just almost there to be able to make out features on this person, the shadow of this figure turns to you, and you can see just white where their eyes should be, and their mouth opens, and it's also this like white vision of like, it's almost a shadow, and it looks at you, and you can tell that it's been crying and that it's weak and it's not doing good, and it opens its mouth, and the only thing you hear is "save me" before you jolt awake in a cold sweat from this dream.
So, the save me, is it like... First of all, are we talking about like the shadow turns and looks at me and the eyes and the mouth are like blanked out and like the jaw drops open in like true horror movie fashion?
So it's a shadow figure. The eyes are like, so it's like the opposite of negative space, right? So
Right.
like the eyes are white, and when the mouth moves, the inside of the mouth is white.
Make us whole, Isaac.
So it's terrifying in the sense that like you can't recognize a lot of the features and stuff, whoever this is. But
I should not, I was gonna try and look up a photo of what I'm trying to describe, but
Nope,
oh my
nope,
god, that was
nope.
such a bad
but,
idea.
like,
Don't do that right
It's-
before bed.
it's more of the silhouette of a person and not
Mm.
so much a terrifying thing.
But you know
You're
what
more
I'm
just
thinking about?
seeing the
It's almost
silhouette.
like the Scream mask, but like more realistic.
Yeah, it's not so much that. It's more of a just like if you saw the silhouette of a person through a window and they were just like they didn't look
Still
terrifying
creepy.
in their face. Yeah,
Still
you
creepy
just couldn't
though.
make out their you
Okay.
couldn't make
Right,
out their
yeah.
features.
And then when she when "save me" has been uttered, right? Are we talking
Uh-huh.
about like she says this? Does she yell it? Is it like whispered? Is it like said but also like sounds reverberating around me? Like,
It is a you see the mouth move, and it's like they're whispering in your ear. And they whisper, it's a like soft, weak whisper.
so almost like that like delayed whisper.
Yeah, and it's like whoever said this they're not doing well.
The absolute terrifying image that I have in my head right now. I want to let you know.
Buns crawls over to Suo when she jolts awake.
And she full will jolt sit up awake and just like
Suo?
she's gonna put her head in her hands and just like
Buns will just hug her.
I stay sleeping.
Buns will just hold her.
I don't know. I don't think she would say anything. I think she would just kind of sit there in like that horror shock of just what the
And we'll go ahead and say that you guys make it through the rest of the day. So obviously, you're not gonna actually have exhaustion, but you are tired. You very clearly did not get good rest.
Right.
But in D&D terms, you do not have exhaustion. You're just somebody who is functioning, but you did not sleep well.
Suit me on a regular basis.
And if Suo will let her, Buns will curl up with her. Just to try to be some form of comfort.
She won't say no. It'll
Okay,
probably
so
like
now-
I imagine it being one of those things where like she kind of like rolls over and turns away, and then Buns just kind of like backs up to her back and just like curls up that way.
And then when they wake up, Suo's like cuddling Buns.
Just full like Buns is stuffy.
Yes.
So it's day. You're about half a day's trek ish. If you use the road from this lake towards Trey, you're about half a day's trek.
All right, let's go on. We're gonna want to get there with enough time to start investigating if this is pretty critical. Earlier we get on the road, earlier we get to town.
Indeed.
Okay. As you're making your way that way, Hamhot, give me another nature check.
And Mace has eyes on the horizon,
I
trying
would like to
to.
point out I was a chef first and a ranger second.
Yeah. You're not paying any attention to nature. It's you're just like you're really thinking about
Wow.
like food. You're thinking food.
I'm trying to think. Let's get back to civilization, where they have food.
Yes.
Or they have proper cooking facilities.
And
You
then
guys-
Mace has got his eyes on the horizon, trying to see if there's anything as they get closer that he might be able to see what was being perceived.
I'm assuming this whole time I still see like the ashy leaves falling, correct?
Oddly, after that nightmare, you woke up and you did not see them anymore.
But all the previous day I did.
Yes.
Okay.
Until you went to sleep and woke up, you saw the ash falling from the sky.
That almost stresses me out more.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mace, just because you pointed it out, I'll allow you to make a nature check.
Oh, a nature check? Okay.
Yeah, because you're keeping track of the surroundings. It's just that this particular thing. A 9, I'd say that if you guys, so once you guys are about here, if you see where I'm pinging, once you guys are about here, even with a 9, Mace, you start to notice that like things like the forest looks healthy, but like when you walk through the forest, it crunches as if it was like dry and not healthy at all. It gives the vision of a healthy functioning forest, but the sound of a dead dry forest.
And as he starts noticing the crunching underfoot, bend down. Do I see leaves on the ground, or do I just see grass?
You see grass and it looks healthy.
I dunk my hand down on the ground.
As you do, it once again looks healthy. It feels dry and brittle and like it should be like this is the texture that you would normally feel off of like dying dead grass, dry dead grass.
What's wrong?
if I go to grab what's underneath Mace's hand at the moment, I'm not like actively trying to pull grass up, but like if anything is loose and it comes with the hand as I'm like grabbing a fistful of grass.
When you grab it, it falls apart and kind of like crushes to almost powder. That's how dry it is.
But there's pieces of leaf in his hand when he looks.
Yeah, it look so once again you're touching it and you're feeling it and it looks healthy. There's no dead leaves. And in the grass that you crushed that like almost is so dry that it turns to a powder, it still looked healthy even when you picked it up. But it still gives the feeling and it crushes like grass that is dry and dead.
Something is wrong.
Can I give a vibe check when he says something is wrong? Can I just give a vibe check for the area?
Yeah, you can vibe check the area.
Things are not as they appear.
12. Yeah, you're also kind of getting this strange feeling of like everything looks fine, but everything feels off.
Just to check it, he'll take his hand axe and kind of swing at one of the lower branches on a nearby tree.
With almost no force, it kind of snaps off, it also being incredibly dry and brittle.
Something very wrong. We should hurry.
Can I cast detect magic on the area?
Yeah, you can cast detect magic on the area.
While that happens, Suo is also going to like check around and kind of do the same thing that Mace did. And I would say upon, I would assume, feeling like the same things, she's gonna be like, it has to be the tree.
If you want to give a nature check with advantage, Suo, just because of your like your druid and also the fact that you like lived in the forest for a long time, I will allow that. And detect magic, there's nothing magic happening here.
Whatever it is, it's not magic. I don't
Uh,
know what it is.
with a 16, so when you're also feeling around these things, when you reach out and like put your hand to the ground and feel the grass and you touch the bark of a tree and stuff, you get that same feeling that Mace had, but there's also that twinge on the inside of you that tells you that there's no life left in these things.
She's gonna, when she does that, she's gonna, specifically for the tree, she's gonna kind of like rub her chest a little bit and just like, they're already dead. Why do they look like this?
Talk about the trees.
Yes.
Some form of non-magical glamour.
I'm trying to think of how, in character, if I could translate this thought.
That's the only thing May says at the moment. That's the only thing that is swimming around in his head. Kind of piecing together all the information his friends have spouted.
If you wanted, yeah.
So you said you're from this Feywilds, right?
Yes.
I am.
We spent some time there, yes.
Isn't that supposed to be like a true nature reflection of this world?
Reflection is a basic word for it.
Is it DM? Is it like
You know that there are certain things in the Feywild that are mirrors almost of this world. Not that everything is, but you know that nature and Fey are they have a very strong connection. So oftentimes when things affect one side, they'll affect the other. But that being said, it's hard to define whether or not whatever's happening here is happening because of something there, or if it's happening here and then affecting there also. So you can glean that it might affect the Feywild, but you can't tell if the source is from Fey or if it's from here.
I only absorbed about half of that.
so?
Uh,
Not everything is a mirror. But some places are, and it's hard to tell if this is from the Feywild or if this is affecting the Feywild. It's just hard to say.
Well, I'm just trying to piece it together here, right? And you two seem connected, but also seem inherently more connected with, like, Fey fairies, whatever, based off of our interaction in the library. It's possible that there's this weakening of the veil, if you will, if what we're seeing is how a nature is supposed to be, but not how it actually is. It's not even a matter of them affecting one another, but kind of falling into each other. And if it seems sourced at Trey, given this otherworldly urgency to go there, that's all I'm saying. There might be a connection there. We might be able to. I think you said you had a key, right? It was supposed to take you
Yeah.
home, and it doesn't anymore. Does that look any different?
Buns will pull the fork out of her.
The tuning fork looks the same.
Not any more or less transformed than it was from its previous forky shape.
Nope.
Okay.
Could still be. At least it doesn't seem affected by this locality. We should finish making our way to Trey, though. Whatever it is probably sourced there, but if what you guys are describing and what we're seeing is real, then we should probably avoid any open flames. Keep your water skins handy just in case.
I think it's going to be too late for that.
We can only do what we can.
So, Trey is very close, and the closer you get, the more you feel, Suo, the more you feel the pull of that, like, that tree, until you exit the forest, the edge of the forest, and you're kind of up on a hill a little bit, and you look out and you can see the city of Trey, and in the center of the city of Trey is a very large towering tree that looks reasonably healthy with green leaves that shade a majority of the town of Trey.
I'm assuming nothing's on fire.
Nothing is on fire.
Yet. Got it. I am going to very purposefully march into this city and go up to that fucking tree.
Did Suo tell us about the dream?
I don't think so. They were just
No.
distraught after waking up.
Yeah, I don't think she would have shared it.
Ace, follow her. Hurry.
Follows behind as close as he can.
Making it to the gate isn't too terribly far since this is an opening now. You're not really surrounded by trees or anything anymore. So you make it pretty easily to the gate of the town. Looking through the opening, like the main street, the street, the entrance to the town, the street is big, and it leads directly to the tree in the center. And you can see this is a normal town. It seems like people are kind of walking around, bustling, stopping to talk to their neighbors. There's people carrying baskets of bread or
Bonjour.
fruit.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Bonjour.
Yeah, it's very similar to when you entered Rock. You know, it's a quaint little small town with this overbearingly large tree in the middle.
There goes the
But
baker,
nothing seems.
like always.
It seems very normal. None of these people seem distressed or concerned or worried.
I am walking up to that tree and I'm putting my hand on it.
You
Me
put
and
your
this
hand.
tree are getting real personal, okay?
So as you all follow Suo, as she is just like she is an independent woman on a mission
Making
going
a
towards
beeline.
this tree. Suo, when you put your hand on that tree, that all too similar wave hits you. The same, all the feelings that you felt in that dream hit you, except they're so much more real now because they're right in front of you.
I was gonna say that she was prepared for it, and so she's not. She's probably still gonna collapse to her knees, but instead of like viscerally yelling out loud, she probably like grunts through her teeth. Because she's a little bit more prepared for it.
And on the way in, is Mace noticing that same disconnect between what sounds underfoot and visuals?
Making your way into the town, the more you get into the town, the more things sound like they're alive. Like you don't have that same crunch. It almost feels more like what it should feel like. Like the grass is healthy here.
As soon as I spot Suo making contact with the tree, I will reach for Buns. Can I grab her, go see to her, and then go to someone in town and start asking, has anyone been outside recently and noticed anything strange?
Okay. Buns, as you're approaching Suo, you're having this moment where your hand is still on this tree. And you almost feel as though this tree reaches out. It almost, you feel like it reaches out to you, and you feel as if a branch of this tree gently and like lovingly and kindly just like gives you a stroke on the cheek, almost as if it wishes it could wipe away your tears. And it says, you hear it in your mind. And Buns, being close to this, you hear it also, as a soft, very sickly voice of the tree whispers to you, I'm running out of time. You have to help her.
Help who?
Where?
I can't find her. And she's trapped.
Is it who I saw last night?
Yes.
And I think at that point, she's going to push herself up off the ground and try to see if she can find her way back to that building.
As you push yourself off the ground and you let the tree go, and everybody, so those of you who are like asking people who walk by, they're just very like, oh, you know, everything's the way it's always been, everything's normal. So as you turn to go find this building, you're greeted by a man, a well-dressed man, wearing pretty good clothes. Like, he's wearing very nice clothes for the area, and he looks at you and he goes, "Welcome to Trey. I'm the mayor." And that is where this session will end.
I want to let you know immediately, I do not like this man.
Exactly.
I don't think we're meant to. Just adventuring, I guess.
But realistically, this man has done nothing wrong. He just saw
Exactly.
strangers walk into his town and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and greet these people who've never been here before. Like, totally. Totes my goats. But Suo literally turned around, looks at him, and goes, nah, you're fucking with shit. Immediately. No basis whatsoever.
Mine's probably the same.
So that is the end of this session. But hey, guess what? That's not the end of the surprises. Because I have a very special announcement for everyone, including the players who didn't know this was going to happen.
We're gonna perish.
Oh my god.
Next week on Awooters Does D&D, we will have our very first special guest character.
How did I know
Oh.
that's what you were gonna say?
Next week, we will be joined by the amazing and the wonderful and the perfect person for a plant-related adventure,
Oh my god.
Wizzle 119.
Tech wizard herself.
Yay!
Squizzle!
Oh my god. Hang up.
Wait.
So, not only did we get a good cliffhanger, but next week we are getting our first official guest star on Awooters Does D&D.
Wow.
Ooh.
We made it, guys.
I want to let you know the amount of chills that I had during the session, and also the amount of times that I legitimately wanted to cry.
Mm.
Like,
You're welcome.
in case you had any doubts, you're doing amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hair flip.
Thank you. I casually had Mace rust in front of Mace himself.
Right.
Just scenery with trees, Ladinsky had an arm. He had an arm.
He had a hand.
Had is
and,
the key word here.
and also, unaware to the rest of the party, Hamhock has a new recipe. So we've had quite the intense session.
A recipe for cake or death.
Squizzle, the answer to that question is you already know that it's what I like to do because you have played in my games before. Breaking people is one of my favorite DM pastimes.
Yeah, the moment of Mace disintegrating in front of himself there
That made me sad.
was... He kind of short-circuited for a moment, but he didn't notice it.
Hey,
But
look,
so he defaulted back to solve it.
the first couple episodes of sessions, like the first couple of game sessions and stuff, are always my favorite because there's nothing like getting all of that setup in and then just being like, okay, here's all the setup.
Have
Now I'm
fun.
gonna let you go. Figure it out. Like,
Oh boy.
I give you all of these really cool things, and then when you're like, oh my god, I can't wait to get more, it's like, get it yourself.
Get fucked.
This is the part where
now,
Ham, being a deceptively simple character, is probably both great and awful.
and
But
for the record, there is probably going to need to be a preamble filmed by you yourself, just
I
to.
am gonna have to write up a pre thing because we did lose the first couple of episodes, which I don't know why, but for some reason it's working now. So hopefully, from this point
Yeah.
on, we won't have to do any large recaps or anything. But I'm glad everybody had fun. I'm glad everybody had thoughts and feelings.
I do like the, I do have to say I do like the large recaps before each session that you do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They definitely have helped me as
Yes.
somebody who takes notes. They help.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm very glad. I'm glad we're all having a good time. I'm glad everybody is seeming to be very much interested in what's going on, and like I saw people in chat being like very much having their stuff also, like their moments. So I'm glad that everybody's enjoying this. I'm glad that everybody's having a good time. I'm glad that I'm doing a decent job.
You're doing a very good job.
Thank you. But yes, so I'm so excited. I'm very excited that we're gonna have our first ever guest on the Awooters Does D&D, and kind of get somebody else in here to maybe shake things up a little bit and like shock and awe people, because that's my favorite thing to do. But with that being said, oh my god, we finished a Awooters Does D&D before 12:30.
You know what's really funny? You know what's really funny about that?
You don't have to
What?
go to work in the morning?
Nope. I have off tomorrow.
So the one time where it like could have kept going. Yeah.
Yep,
Great.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you guys so much for joining us. We have a Discord. If you would like to check out our Discord, you can use that link there to get caught up and see what everybody's doing outside of Awooters Does D&D. Which is so far an amazing production. Once again, thank you to all of you guys for being a part of the Awooters team, our first ever production, and making it as successful as it has been already. Very much appreciate that. Thank everybody for watching. And we're gonna do the my other favorite part of every stream, which is I'm now gonna like go around the group here, and if you want to find out where you can see all these wonderful people, they'll tell you right now. Zana, where can people find you?
Mostly right now, lately on Yogoki's streams, with him occasionally playing Baldur's Gate 3 lately, or Final Fantasy 14.
Cool. Yagoki, where can people find you?
On my own channel, as well as TikTok and Instagram, all of them the same tag, Yagoki Wolf. And I have been indeed mostly playing Baldur's Gate 3, like the rest of us, like the majority of us on the team. It is a game that I 100% did not anticipate enjoying, but I am invested immensely.
I feel that.
And 200 hours into Baldur's Gate herself, M, where can people find you? Probably also playing Baldur's Gate.
Twitch.tv/emredfeather, and yeah, it's a lot of Baldur's Gate right now. I am almost done my first full playthrough, and I have already started a Dark Urge playthrough. I'm super excited.
Not to mention, there's also the Whittle Guy Wednesday playthrough that's currently
right.
happening also.
We have the Whittle Guy Wednesday, and then I also have a playthrough with Peanut and Hurricane. So,
So, just in case you're wondering, 200 plus hours. And then we have our amazing Emos Husky, Best Mod NA. Where can they find you hanging out, Husky?
You usually find me hanging out in the Awooters stream Discord if I'm not hanging out in any of the streams. Or you also find me at say Husky at Twitch.
Twitch.tv/Emos Husky.
Yeah, that's it.
Also, I would like to point out while we're on the Husky side of things, today Husky had a human hand, and hopefully in the future,
Okay, so now I have a human foot.
we'll see how that goes. We'll
Say
see about
nothing.
that maybe in the future. And Foxy, where can people find you?
I've been trying to stream more. Still only happens about once in a blue moon, but I try to hit at least 2 streams a month. So if you see that notification, they're rare. That's your chance. Your only chance.
And just a pre-shout out, if you guys want to go ahead and get a quick preview of who the special guest is that will be here next week, you can go find them at twitch.tv /squizzle119 or in the Discord as the Tech Wizard. Please don't actually think she's a tech wizard. She will break your computer.
Accidentally.
Accidentally. This is the same woman who once said, "Where's the Windows key?" And then my name is Atlas Riven from twitch.tv /Atlas Riven. You can find me constantly being stressed out about said stream team, crying with M on Whittle Guy Wednesdays, and also probably dying in Dead by Daylight the rest of the time. It doesn't look like a window, says Squid. Okay. But thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of Awooters Does D&D, and we will see you next Friday at the same time for some more Awooters Does D&D. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Love you guys.
Bye.